Hey there, House here. Well, last week was not my best. I went 8-7, bringing my overall record to 79-43 for a win percentage of 64%. So I'll be looking for a bounce back this week. We kick off this week's set of games with tonight as we have the Colts versus the Jets. Now the Jets surprised practically everybody by upsetting the Bengals last week and busting more than a few confidence pools, I would imagine. They had some phenomenal play by their rookie quarterback who threw over 400 passing yards and looked unstoppable, to say the least. But I feel they have a better chance of slowing down the Jets, better than what the Bengals could do last week. I'm picking the Colts and Jonathan Taylor to beat the Jets. Next, we have the Giants versus the Raiders. The Giants will more than likely be without Saquon Barkley for another week, so that's definitely going to hurt their offensive production. The Raiders are going to have a different look offense as well slightly after they released their young wide receiver Henry Ruggs after he had an incident with the law this week. If you don't know about that story, a simple Google search will give you all the information you need. With him being released, I'm expecting Renfro to have a much bigger role in the offense, as well as Waller get a lot more targets, and a healthy Josh Jacobs to carry the ball probably close to 20 times. I'm picking the Raiders here. Saints versus the Falcons. The Saints found a way to win last week after they lost Jameis Winston to a torn ACL against the Bucs. Trevor Siemian came in and played in his first NFL game in probably 2 to 3 years and was able to navigate the offense to help them beat the Bucs. This week, there's some speculation of if Taysom Hill will be healthy coming off of his concussion from a few weeks ago to take control of the offense, or even if he is healthy, will he be the starting quarterback, or will they attempt to do a part-time quarterback between both Taysom Hill and Siemian? It'll definitely be something that they'll be playing with for the rest of the year, as those will be their two guys, assuming nobody else gets hurt. The Falcons, always a team that finds a way to lose. Last week, they did not have Calvin Ridley, who stepped away from the team and is leaving football for the time being to focus on his mental health, so they have a little bit of a blow there. I expect their offense to perform a little bit better as they're going to facilitate probably more to their tight end, Kyle Pitts, and some other receiving options that they have. I think the Saints defense is just too good at the moment. I think they're going to beat the Falcons. Jaguars versus Bills. The Jaguars couldn't do much last week. Opposite of what I thought. I thought they'd actually be able to move the ball a little bit. It didn't help that James Robinson hurt his heel in the first quarter and missed the remainder of the game after only touching the ball 4 times. He's also in doubt of him playing in this game. Even if he did, going against this Bills defense, it would have been a tall task. I'm picking the Bills here. Bengals versus the Browns. This is a matchup between two teams that either look like world beaters one week and the same terrible team another week. Who knows which version of these two teams will show up. Personally, I'm leaning towards the Bengals because they have a little bit more of a high-powered offense than the Browns do just now. Panthers versus the Patriots. The Panthers are always a team where I think they're going to lose and they'll win, and when I think they're going to win, they lose. So I don't know how to judge the Panthers at this point. The Patriots still have a pretty good defense, and Mac Jones is getting a little bit more comfortable under center. I'm giving them the advantage this week. Cowboys versus Broncos. Cowboys found a way to win last week without Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush came in, did enough to help their offense move the ball and get them some scores. It helped that the Vikings offense, even with all their talented pieces, still finds a way to look lost nearly week in and week out. There's a thought that Dak might be able to return for this game. If he does, I'm giving them the easy advantage. Even if they don't, I still don't think they're going to lose to the Broncos. Ravens versus Vikings. As I just stated, the Vikings find different ways to lose the game, even with all the talent that they have on their offense and a defense that isn't the worst in the league. Last week they lost to a quarterback. This week they have to go up against the likes of Lamar Jackson, and he's a difficult matchup for anybody to go up against. I'm picking the Ravens in this one. Next we have the Dolphin Texans. Oh boy. This is not going to be a good game for either side. The Texans haven't played competitive football since week 2. The Dolphins, are playing a little bit better since Tua returned, but he's still dealing with his own set of injuries that he suffered at the beginning of the year. I'm giving the Dolphins the advantage mainly because I don't think the Texans can move the ball. Eagles versus Chargers. Eagles put on an offensive display last week. Part of that was because they were playing against a Detroit Lions defense. I think they probably will still be able to move the ball a little bit better than they have throughout the season in this matchup against the Chargers. The Chargers defense isn't all that great. Their offense, however, makes up for a lot of that bad defense. I think that their offense will find it pretty easy to move the ball against this Eagles defense, and I'm giving them the advantage here, picking the Chargers. Chiefs versus the Packers. Now, if I were to make these predictions a few days ago, I would have said that the Packers would have won this game, no problem. But over the last couple of days, we found out that Aaron Rodgers has not only tested positive for COVID, but he broke the NFL's COVID policy, being vaccinated and lying, saying that he was. He said he had an alternative form of vaccination. He lied and said that he received treatment. So now with him set to miss this week's game and possibly longer, depending on how long he remains positive for COVID, he could be facing some issues with the league going into the facilities for pre- and post-game press conferences and not wearing a mask. So look for that story. It's not going away anytime soon. Next, we have the 49ers versus the Cardinals. The Niners showed some offensive ability last week against the Bears. They actually moved the ball downfield and didn't rely just on a run game. Their defense did not play as well. It was a closer game than I thought it would have been. They're going against a Cardinals team that were upset last week against a shorthanded Packers team. This week, I don't see them struggling as much on offense against this 49ers defense. I'm picking the Cardinals. Sunday night, we have the Rams versus the Titans. The Rams are rolling on offense, and there really isn't much that they can't do. The Titans usually would be able to ground and pound and keep themselves in the game, but due to an injury to Derrick Henry, who is expected to miss the rest of the year, if not most of it, this will be a new-look Titans team as they have to rely more on their passing attack with Tannehill, a maybe healthy Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown, with their backup running back trying to do what he can to supplement for the loss of Derrick Henry, as well as the signing of Adrian Peterson, who will probably receive some first to second down carries whenever he can. I think it's just going to be too much right away for them to flip the script and adjust to a new offense. I'm giving the Rams the advantage here. And last, we have the Steelers versus the Bears. As I stated last week, the Steelers have a pretty balanced attack. They can beat you throwing it downfield. They can beat you running it down your throat. Expect Harris to run the ball at least 20 times, even if the Bears do their best to bottle them up. This Bears team has a relatively decent defense, but their offense just does not help them whatsoever. They struggle to move the ball. They can't sustain drives, and they put their defense right back onto the field when they haven't had sufficient time to catch their breath. I'm picking the Steelers here. Well, there you have it. Those are my picks. Thank you for tuning into the House Report. If there were some selections that you don't agree with, please leave your own picks in the comment section. As always, I hope this week's picks go better than last week. And remember, to all my betting friends out there, you win some and you lose some. But the house always wins.